In his essay, The Philosophy of Composition, Edgar Allan Poe describes in detail the steps he took to write the famous poem, The Raven. It really was a top-down design.
Once, upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more."
He started out with the intention to write a poem that would suit at once the popular and the critical taste. Based on this, he wanted it short enough to be read in one sitting, but long enough for the critics. He decided on 100 lines. It turned out to be 108.
Only this, and nothing more.
Next, he decided to make the poem about beauty, for he believed that beauty was the sole legitimate province of the poem. By that he meant not just physical beauty, but the intense and pure elevation of the soul that comes from contemplating beauty. But this beauty should fit the poetic tone, and melancholy, for Poe, was the most legitimate of all poetical tones. So, he was going to write a 100-line melancholic poem about beauty.
This is it, and nothing more.
Next, Poe knew that he needed some keynote within the poem, one that would obtain what he called artistic piquancy. Knowing poetry, he decided that the refrain was the best place for this. The refrain would be repeated often. For the best effect, it would be, for the most part, unvaried. But its application would be varied and would produce novel effects.
"'Tis the wind, and nothing more."
In order to apply the refrain in various ways, it had to be brief, and he decided upon a one-word refrain. That word would have to be sonorous and susceptible to protracted emphasis, as he said. The best vowel for this was the long O, and the most appropriately connected consonant was R. Now came a search for the one-word refrain, and the best melancholic word that presented itself was nevermore.
Quoth the raven, "Nevermore."
Do you see how Poe went from the abstract to the concrete? That's what we do in stepwise refinement. Next, Poe had to decide who would say the refrain, nevermore. For a person to say it over and over again would not be reasonable, so it had to be a creature. What about a parrot? "Polly want a cracker? Nevermore." Nah, that's not melancholic. What about a raven, the bird of ill omen? That will do exquisitely.
"Open here I flung the shutter when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but, with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more."
Finally, it was time to make the topic, melancholic beauty, more concrete. Again, we have stepwise refinement. Now, what's the most melancholic thing you can think of? Death. And what's the most beautiful melancholic dead thing that is suitable for a poem? A dead woman.
"She shall press, nevermore."
And who will feel this melancholy more than anyone else? The dead woman's bereaved lover. Hence, the poem is the lament of a bereaved lover for his dead mistress. And to make it all fit, Poe has the raven booming out, in answer to the lover's poignant queries, "Nevermore." Poe's development of the raven, as depicted in his essay, is the epitome of top-down design. It starts with the goal and moves to the poem in small steps. Some of these steps have the same abstract to concrete nature that we see in stepwise refinement in programming.
And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting. Still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul, from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.